Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, July 22nd. We've finished up all the classes. Basically, we've received this vocal as if it is the final version, and there's all sorts of different issues going on with the vocal. There's pops and clicks from the mic, it's out of alignment, and possibly might need some tuning. So it's a pretty big project. I've taken a look. As you can see, I've already pretty much started here. I have worked with quite a few vocalists and done all the mixing and stuff myself. So to see a vocal where it looks like they intentionally added errors, I think this is going to be quite the challenge. But anyways, I sort of wish I would have started this project yesterday because this is going to be a big one. There's 3 or 4 different vocals, harmonies, doubles, leads that we need to correct. I think I'm gonna need another coffee today. We're doing our work. We're doing what we need to be doing. You'll see this Sunday-ish. I mean, I guess technically you see it any day of the week if you aren't watching when I release the video. Nonetheless, I hope you had a really, really good week this week. We gotta get on this. Let's go. Well, that was quite the Thursday. I am beat. Just attended one of my instructor's office hours. He was marking my drum assignment from last week and told me to swing by his office hours so he could give me a couple tips on mixing or making your own kick drum. How to make them nice and full and customize them, kind of shape the sound to what you want. So it's actually a really, really great tip. This mixing assignment, this vocal mixing assignment, they really are throwing us for a loop on this one. So there's an absolute ton of editing and aligning. So it's taken up a large chunk of my day to just get the first one done. Okay, there's only one more layer that needs to be processed. We gotta get that done tomorrow. I was really, really surprised. I thought it would be a quite basic assignment. So anyways, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm heading home. Well, hello there. Happy Friday. And here we are, back with another episode of the Friday Fireside Chat. As we wind down from the week, we look back and reflect on how the week went and if anything in particular stood out for us. Now, this is an open vlog segment where we can chat about things, I can demonstrate things, or we can simply just take a breath and have some gratitude for where we're at in life. Let's do that. Breathe in, hold, and out. For the Fireside Chat this week, we are going to talk about aligning vocals. Myself personally, I kind of jumped in the deep end with vocals. I think I've worked with about 5 or 6 vocalists now, most of which, if not all, I produced the vocal myself. One of the most important parts of vocal production is making sure that the vocals are all aligned. Sometimes you're getting between, 6 and 15, 20 different vocal parts. So I'm here to show you 2 ways in which you can align vocals. One is using my favorite program, Vocalign. This intelligent plugin analyzes your vocal tracks and compares them to each other to align them perfectly. So here's our project. Let's take a listen to this vocal that I dragged in. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I made sure it was misaligned. Let's check it out.
You're not picking up. You're not picking up.
So you can definitely hear this first phrase is out of line. The bottom one starts before the top one. So let's grab Vocalign and we put Vocalign on the one that we want to affect. So we have our verse 1 up here. And then this is a double. So obviously the main verse 1 is going to be the track that we base this off of, or what Vocalign calls the guide track. So in order to make this work, as I said, put this on the one you want to affect. Go down here to Ableton's sidechain option and choose that guide track. So here we go. Verse 1 dry. Now this is as simple as clicking the part you want to start at in Ableton, and then going over to Vocalign and hitting capture.
You're not picking up.
So there you go. As you could see, Vocalign automatically and very quickly processed it, and now this output track is the fixed, time-corrected vocal. It should be perfectly aligned. Let's check it out.
You're not picking up.
Bravo. The other way is through using warp markers and or your ear. The classic producer ear. One of the critical things for aligning vocal is knowing the BPM. So in this case, it's 97. We've got it set properly. So we click warp. So the vocal starts directly on the beat. So we can come down here and we can find where the vocal actually starts. Looks like there's a bit of a lead in here and we've got that pushed a little bit too far ahead. So yes, okay, here's another warp marker. We can set 111 here. Let's zoom out of that. Let's see how this sounds.
You're not picking up.
That's sounding pretty good there. So let's actually warp this. So we can actually right click on this yellow warp marker. And down here, we have all these different warp options. Since we know what the BPM is, we can do warp 97 BPM from here. All right, that hardly even moved it. Let's take a listen.
You're not picking up. You're not picking up.
Let's take a listen to some of this stuff back here. I can kind of already see that it's not aligned. So now I'm just going to show you how to manually do this. So you could see in the original one, if you kind of zoom in here, it starts a little bit higher up. So you can kind of drag around the warp marker until you have it pretty well aligned.
And
that is how you would go through and manually align your vocal. And there we have it. Very, very handy tools. In my opinion, you do still need to know how to manually shift vocals. I've worked with vocals where some of the harmonies even did something different. Maybe instead of saying the last word, they kind of sang it out and held the note. Well, a program like Vocaline will probably have difficulty lining that up. So it's always a good idea to have multiple tools in your tool belt for doing these kinds of things. All right, I hope you learned something. That's it for the Friday Fireside Chat today. See you next time. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, July 24th. We just got into the studio relatively late, and I ain't mad about that. Went for a coffee with a friend and just enjoyed a nice chit-chat and a coffee outside. That was much needed, that's for sure. I should probably take it easy in the mornings a little more often. Might do me some good. I think I've been getting up at 6:30 every day, coming into the studio all day for, I don't know, 6 months. So yeah, I gotta cut myself some slack, you know? Today, Saturday, you know what Saturdays are all about. First things first though, we need to do our keys assignment. Then of course, we get straight into sound design. I might use a different synth, but honestly, I just love the way things are going with Dune. It would probably benefit me to continue to branch out, use other synths, but you know what? I like the idea of being an expert, being very proficient in one synth. And honestly, this synth's kind of a combination of all of them. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, super, super excited to show you what we come up with today. Welcome back to another episode of Sound Design Saturday. This week I was really inspired by Tiesto's new alias Ver West. Arguably with the kind of rebranding of 2010s progressive trance, which is basically modern day melodic techno. I guess he was inspired and he started this melodic techno alias. I'll just go on Spotify, listen to a whole bunch of music, and then if I hear a sound I'm inspired by, I'll begin to recreate it. What basically always happens though is it just goes in a natural direction that pretty well ends up not sounding anything like the source material. It's a good example of using something as inspiration, but not copying. In all honesty, even if I was copying, that's what Sound Design Saturday is all about. If I can listen to a sound in a song, and then go to my synth and be inspired to create something, what more could you ask for a dedicated sound design day? So we don't have too many sounds. I feel like we're more at a quality over quantity phase right now. But yeah, I think you're gonna really like these sounds. Meet me over by the computer. Here we are, Elated presets, left field melodic, bright pluck. Crazy screamo bass. Killer pluck lead. LFO bass. LFO mod ARP pluck. Patch description: mod wheel LFO ARP craziness. And finally, the rave organ. So there we go. Some really, really unique sounds in there. Some of those plucks, like, I don't even know how I come up with it. I'm just experimenting with LFOs and doing a whole bunch of just random stuff you might not think of. So instead of doing like something typical with an LFO where it's kind of evenly pumping or something like that, I'll make it go crazy fast so it gives it that fluttering kind of sound. In all honesty, I think we're really setting ourselves up here to be able to release sample packs and make that another source of income for our music career. That's the goal that I'm working towards, and yeah, I think we're well on our way with that. All right, that is it for Sound Design Saturday today.